Hahnville led this game 16-7 at half, but Destrehan got it going in the second half. And they finish off the Hahnville Tigers here tonight, and they also finish off a run of 7 straight victories to end the regular season after losing their first game of the year to St. Paul's. Jeff Palermo along with Jason DeQueer, a fun rivalry game to finish off the 2020 regular season. And Hahnville looked like the more composed team in the first half. Destrehan was certainly shaky, but once they got Razon Keller the ball a bunch in the second half, it was just a different story. And I think that Destrehan defense was a little more dialed in the second half, quit making the mistakes, quit getting penalized in the contest. And Hahnville really didn't have an answer for either Keller or what Destrehan was bringing on defense.
Yeah, I think Hahnville knew from the start they were a little outmanned in this game. They got some help from Destrehan and some bad special teams plays that allowed them to go up. And then I think Destrehan came out trying to press a little bit too much on offense and air the ball out and do some things. And then Coach Scott went in and said, look, scrap that. Yeah. We're going to Razon Keller. And then once they did that in the second half, it was the difference in this ball game, and it was Razon Keller, and then Shane Lee came in, filled in great for him, and once they started running the ball, Razon Keller over 200 yards rushing tonight, a lot of that in the second half. It was a different ball game.
Certainly was. Let's look back at the highlights of this contest. And Hahnville, early on, this was also a big factor in this game. Trey LeBranch had a really good first half, but he gets injured in the second quarter, and Hahnville's offense was really never the same. And Razon Keller, the first of 3, actually got down to the 1-yard line there, and then Jai Eugene on the quarterback sneak. 7-6 lead at that moment. Big 4th down play here. Nakhan hitting his tight end, Collins Orang, for a touchdown. And this was a touchdown, a fumble recovery by Jace Gooden in the end zone. Here's Nakhan on the roll on 4th and long, and he's going to run it in from 30 yards out. Looked like it was going to be Hahnville's night at that moment, but here comes Razon Keller, and you could not stop him. He was just a train out there. Big turnover right here. That would allow Keller to get into the end zone. That gives Destrehan the lead. And then another turnover coming up. Nakhan trying to make something happen. Morton steps in with his second interception of the night. And then this is the frosting on the cake. Keller into the end zone. And that does it. Destrehan, your district champs, and 7-1 to complete the 2020 regular season. You see the big second half for the Wildcats as they put up 29 points with 313 total yards, most of them coming in the second half. And even though Destrehan was highly penalized in this game, like 13 penalties, the 4 turnovers for Hahnville, hard to overcome.
That's hard to overcome. And then your main stat line, look all the way down there at the end, you see Razon Keller, 26 rushes, 227 yards, 3 TDs. How many fantasy points is that worth, Jeff? That's a lot of fantasy points.
Andrew Nakhan had a nice game, but eventually it just didn't work out for Hahnville in the second half, and he's got at least one more game left in purple and gold. Next week, it's the playoffs. Not exactly sure where we'll be at, but we'll be somewhere next Friday. Thanksgiving weekend, 7 o'clock. Again, the pairings come out. The brackets come out at 11 a.m. on Sunday on Cox Sports Television. Join myself, Alan Waddell, and Lee Burkeen as we will unveil the brackets and give you instant analysis of all the teams that get into the postseason. So that will do it for our coverage of tonight's game. We got to give a special thanks to Ellis Alexander and Raymar Photography for the photos they provided us to help with our broadcast, and Wayne Centilles, who provided us that video looking back at that 2001 game. So for Kate Thomas, Jason DeQueer, Tommy Cooper back in the booth with us, our statistician, I'm Jeff Palermo. We've made it through the regular season. Bring on the playoffs. And congratulations to Destrehan. See you next Friday.